Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. This is a seated and standing Psalms and Stretches session that's a version of a class we did to Psalm 91 verses 1 to 2, and you can find that video in the links below. But this class was designed to have some seated exercises and some standing ones with the assistance of a chair, so it was made with you in mind if you need a little extra support while you exercise. We hope it blesses you today. So we'll begin by sitting up as tall as you can. So I'm going to sit towards the edge of my chair so that I can have my feet flat on the floor. The shoulders over the hips and the crown of the head is up tall. To start, we'll take a few deep breaths. In through the nose and then out through the mouth. If you want to, you can make an audible sigh as you relax around the throat and the jaw and the chest. Feel the shoulders sink down the back. And you can keep that going. And we'll read our verse for this moving meditation. It's to Psalm 91, verses 1 to 2. And it says, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust." Lord, we want to thank you for your word. We want to thank you that we can worship you with our movements. And we ask that you would speak to us through this verse today. In Jesus' name, amen. So we'll start by lifting the shoulders up. On your inhale, lift the shoulders all the way up towards your ears. And on the exhale, push them down. Thinking of just sliding them vertically upwards and then all the way down, making the neck even longer. Inhale, lifting the shoulders up. And exhale, pulling the shoulders down. We'll do one more. Inhale, shoulders up, and exhale, shoulders down. From there, take the arms out ahead of you, so they're about 90 degrees to the body. We're going to retract the shoulder blades, so squeeze them back behind you as if they're trying to meet, and then reach the arms forwards as if they're trying to escape the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades back and reach the arms out forwards. So the back stays more or less where it is, and the arms and the shoulders glide around the back towards each other and then away from each other. One more. Squeeze and reach. From there, open the arms out wide. We're going to rotate inwards, so wrists, elbows, shoulders. Take the body a little bit too, you can look down, and then shoulders, elbows, wrist, and lift the chest slightly. So wrists, elbows, shoulders, rotating the arms in the sockets inwards, and then open them out. Like you have a light on your chest. Shine the light downwards slightly, and then open. And we'll do one more. So the arms stay out to the sides and they just turn on an axis and then open. From there, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Turn the palms and push the air down, pulling the shoulders down as you do so. From there, we'll interlace the hands. Disco arms. Roll the wrists and the fingers and do a couple in the other direction as well. From there, clench and open. Squeeze the fists, open, really spreading the fingers, squeeze and spread. And last one, squeeze and spread. And then you can just rest the hands on the knees, have a little shimmy. From there, taking a shoulder circle. So the shoulder circles, you can either do with your arm just hanging by your side, Or you can take the arm in front of you and instead think like a train piston. So the shoulder reaches forward, lifts up to the ear, pulls backwards and down. Let's do the other direction as well. So we'll do about 4 in each direction. Up and forwards, down and back, up and forwards. And I'm trying to keep the arm relatively straight, going forwards, back, like on a train. And then we'll do the other side. So either down by your side if that's most comfortable, or you could take them out in front, forwards, see the arm travel, shoulder lift, pull behind you, down, forwards, up, back and down. And then we'll do the other direction as well. Up and around, really feeling the shoulder blade glide around the back. Last one, and put the arms down again. Little shimmy, little shake, anything you need to. Place the hands on the thighs and we're going to move to the neck and the head. So let's look over the right hand side, as far around to the right as you can, nose over shoulder if possible, and then come back to the center. Do the same on the other side, spiraling around, looking over your shoulder, and coming back. One more each side, looking as far around as you can. Maybe you can go a little bit further that time, and come back, and the other side. And come back. Next, going to the diagonal. So you're going to reach the crown of the head. It's as if you're listening to the ceiling. And I'm going to pull down the shoulders, so especially that left one, so that I make as much space between earlobe and shoulder as I can. Listening to the ceiling. Come back up, smooth and slow. And then the other side. Listen to the ceiling that side. Pull the shoulder down. Get as much of a stretch as you want today. Coming back, we'll do the same again each side. Up and over. Come back, and last one. To the diagonal, feeling the stretch all the way down that side of the neck. And coming back. From there, I'm going to retract the chin and the jaw. So pull it backwards until you get this sort of lovely double chin, and then you're going to take the head and face forwards, so like a turtle. Pull it backwards, send it forwards, pull it back, send it forwards. Last time, run it back, send it forwards. Then stay with the chin pulled backwards as much as you can, and then pull the chin downwards. So we've retracted the jaw, pulled the chin downwards towards the chest, and hopefully then we're getting a little stretch down the back of the neck. Stay there, another deep breath. And then we'll reset the head back on top of the body. I'm going to do a little figure of 8 on its side. So think of this as an infinity sign. Nose goes down towards the low corner, the high corner, across, and swap. Low to high, across. And think of drawing this with your nose sort of in front of you. So it doesn't have to be super wild, and you want it to be smooth and slow, just in the range that you might look anyway, if you were sort of to look around your room. One more in that direction, and then we'll have to reverse it. So go up to go down, across, up, down, across. And when we've done a few repetitions of this one, and you might find it actually a bit more easy to imagine with your eyes closed, but if that makes you feel dizzy, then do have them open. But on this side, let's get a bit smaller and smaller so that we can finally come to a stop. So you're barely doing that figure of 8 now, just tracing it in front of you with your nose until you're finally back in the middle and come to a stop. Good. From there, let's take ourselves into the back a little more with some stretches for the spine. So you're going to tuck the chin to the chest, deep breath, and then slowly roll down just as far as you feel comfortable to do so, folding over your legs. Take a deep breath at the bottom and then roll back up again, being as sequential as you can. So think tailbone down towards the floor, mid-back, upper back, shoulders and head. We're going to do that twice more, and here's an option to reach up in between. So elongate to get longer and taller, then pull the shoulders down, have the hands on the knees, tuck the chin to the chest, and slowly fold your way down over your legs. Deep breath at the bottom, and then rolling back up again, trying to think of stretching out the spine as you do. Shoulders roll down, head lifts last time. Inhale and exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, and slowly make your way down. All the way back, shoulders over hips and head on top of shoulders. So moving the back in sort of sections now, thinking more of the upper back. I'm going to have my hands in either interlaced, or you can just hold one. Pull the ribs backwards, almost like you're holding a big beach ball, and you're trying to get your hands away from your chest and your chest away from your hands, and you can let the head drop as well. And then from there, place the hands on the legs and pull the chest forward. So now rib cage is pulling to the front of the room. And that one's like you've got that light shining out of your chest. And we'll do it again each direction. So pull the rib cage then backwards, rounding the top of the back. And then with the ribs forward again, so arching the top of the back, upper back, forwards, and then coming back. And then moving a bit lower in towards that, so the lumbar spine and the pelvis. We're going to start tipping. So think of the pelvis as like a bowl, and you're going to tip the bowl backwards, sort of spilling it out to the back of your chair, and then tip the bowl forwards, spilling the contents of the bowl to the floor. So by doing this tilt of the pelvis, we start moving through the lumbar spine as well, and just go as far as you can and that feels good within your range of motion. Tipping, moving, folding. Now we can take this on to even become a little abdominal exercise by going through that pelvic tilt, and then I'm going to sit back to the edge of my chair, or to the back part of my chair, the seat of it. And then I'm going to pick myself back up again. So use your abdominals, breathe it out, and put shoulders back over the hips. So if you're sat on the edge of your chair and you've got that space to sit back, so now the back of your chair supports you, then you have to turn the tummy muscles on to lift yourself back up, shoulders over hips. So let's just do 3 more of those. Still with that pelvic tilt idea. So resting back into the chair and then lifting yourself back up, shoulders over hips, folding back. And last one, smoothly finding the back of your chair and then lifting yourself back up, shoulders over hips, pop the arms down, twisting next for the back. So we're going to take our right arm and draw some shoulders. Should we draw some shoulders? Draw some circles with the arm in the shoulder, and then taking it around a bit further so you start feeling that twist through the spine, up and around. We're going to do 2 more times. So each time I'm seeing if I can show my chest a bit more to the side of my room. And then I'll stay there on the next one, just placing your hand on the chair wherever you can reach, having an opposite hand on your knee and encouraging yourself round in that twist. So I'm looking over my back shoulder. One more deep breath. And coming back, and then the same on the other side. So the arm circles, reaching around, twisting. Start looking around the corner even more. Last one's coming, placing the hand on your chair as far as you can reach, wherever is a comfortable hold. Opposite hand on the knee. Sit up tall as you spiral around. So I'm also thinking draw in the abdominals to help me with that spiral. Look to the back of your room. One more deep breath. And then we'll come back. And then we just have to do side bends. So reach the right arm up and over and lean sideways, making space between the hip and the shoulder. Exhale to come back up. We'll do the other side. And come back up. We'll do 1 more each side. Reach. And last one. And come back up. 1 more reach of the arms up. Turn the palms and push the air down, bringing the shoulders down as you do so. Next, some leg exercises. I'm going to move the feet just a little bit out ahead of me so that I can flex the feet as much as I can and rest. Flex the feet and rest, flex, rest, flex. We're going to do 5 and flex. Then bring the feet back underneath you and lift up onto the balls of the feet. Lift the heels and lower. Lift the heels, lower, lift the heels, lower. This is 4 and last one, 5. Replace the heels just back underneath the knee. Right leg, straighten the leg, flex the foot and bring it back. Straighten the leg, bring it back. 3 more, 3, 2, last one. Other side, straighten the leg, 1 and 2, 3, 4, try and stay as tall as you can, 5, and back down. Next, lifting the knee. So you might find that you want to shuffle back a little bit, angle the body so that you can lift the whole thigh off the chair. If I am leaning back slightly, I'm going to engage the abdominals rather than sort of sit comfortably back. So just lean and brace the torso so that you really feel like you're pulling the leg up towards your body. We'll do 3 more, 2, and last one. And then the other side. Lift 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5. And then I'm going to shuffle forwards again so I can have my feet flat on the floor. Leg going to abduct away from the midline. So I'm going to take the whole thigh, lift it, open. So think like a book opening or a door. Open. You could slide the foot along the ground, or you can lift it and place. I'll do 2 more. Open, close. Last one, open, close. Then the other side. So open like a book and then back to the midline. Open and close, or slide and in, slide. Last one to make 5. So about 5 or so each side. If you want to do any more, very welcome. Next, place the feet close to each other. I'm going to rotate. So I find this easier if I go on the balls of my feet and then open the thighs. So the feet stay in that fixed point and the thighs rotate, opening and in and open and in. It's a bit like the clam exercise from when we're lying down. If you know that one, we'll just do 1 more. Open, maybe there's a bonus in case I haven't counted to 5. And close. Pop the legs down. Taking then the right leg out ahead of you. So again, I'm going to have to sit to the edge of my chair. I've got quite short legs. And I'm going to fold forwards until I feel a hamstring stretch up the back of that leg. So I'm flexing the foot as well, so I can feel the stretch down the calf. If you are right to the edge of your chair, do make sure the chair is not going to go anywhere. And lean over as much as feels useful to feel the stretch down that leg. 1 more slow, deep breath. And then we'll roll ourselves up. Same on the other side. You've got a straight leg, foot flexed. You're going to roll down over it. And you can use your other leg for support. One more deep breath there. And then coming back up. And then last one, open the legs out wide and we're going to fold down between the legs. So again, make sure you're stable on your chair and it's not going to go anywhere. Rolling down and reaching just as far as feels good. So you might want to come down further, or maybe you're up here. Have another breath with the body center. and then reach over towards one leg. So you might feel the stretch across the back here, or maybe into the legs if you're folded that bit further over. Coming round over to the other side. And then returning the body and pop the legs back into their parallel position. And then we're back to arms. So this is where we're going to grab our cans. So if you have some tin cans or little weights, this is what we had in the house during this lockdown period. So we're taking the elbows besides the waist and the arms out in front of you here. Forward extension of the arms and the elbows pull back. We're going to count 10. So depending on how heavy your cans are or whatever you have in your possession to hold, you might want to adjust. So this is our 5, 6, all the while sitting up as tall as you can. 7, 8, 2 more, 9 and 10. Next is lateral raise out to the sides. So arms come up about shoulder height and go back down to your side. That was 1. This is 2, 3, 4, trying to keep the shoulders down as you do it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Next, shoulder press above the head. Exhale, 1, 2. Same thing here, try and keep the shoulders down even though the arms are going up. So you don't want them up towards the ears here. Keep them down, nice long neck. That's where I've lost count. We'll do 5 more. And 4, 3, 2, last one. And then our last exercise is a bicep curl. So bring the weights up towards your shoulders and back down. Exhale, inhale. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. And then you can pop those down. Give your arms a shake. From there, we're going to transition to standing. So take the arms out ahead of you. Make sure the feet are planted where the knee is definitely over the ankle so you can easily transfer your weight. Use your exhale, lean forwards, push the legs into the ground, squeeze the glutes and stand up tall. From there, reverse it. Start hinging backwards so the bum's searching for the edge of the chair. Find it and return shoulders over hips. So we're going to do this 4 more times. Push through the legs, carry the body and sit back down and return to the chair. 3 more times. Legs push and down. Now my arms are out for balance, but you can change them if you prefer to have the hands on the hips. You can do that, or even to make it more challenging, if you want to, you can have the hands by the head. But do take it as you need to. After 5, let's just do one extra variation where we almost sit on the chair, but then change your mind. Squeeze the glutes. Almost sit on the chair, change your mind. We'll do 3 more times. 3, 2, and last one. Almost sit down and stand up. Next, we're going to walk round to the back of the chair. So take yourself around, and you might need to just move it so that you've got space behind. We're going to have fingertips on the chair just for some support, but make sure you've got space in front of you. And we're marching. Lift alternating legs up. And we'll do 5 each side. 3, 3, 4, 4, last one, 5, and 5. Then taking a lunge. So again, I'm going to have my hands holding my chair still. Take the right leg back, put the ball of the foot on the floor and bend both legs and stand back. We're going to do it 4 more times. So either the foot can just be a little way away from you, or you can step it that bit further back, see what you're comfortable with. Ideally, that front knee wants to be over the ankle, or at least not loads in front of it, because you want to be able to have the heel firmly on the floor. When we've done 5, let's swap for the other side. Left leg down, 1, upright, 2, 3, 4, last one coming up, 5. So next I'm going to look at a different type of lunge. We're going to open the hips. So I'm going to have one hand on the chair and my right hand on my right hip. Take a step back with that right leg, but then open your facing, and I'm going to place my right foot so the whole sole of the foot is on the floor, and I'm now facing the side of my room. The knee on, this is my left leg, it's still facing the chair in my hand, but I've turned chest, pelvis to the side. Come back, parallel facing your chair. Open out, bend the supporting leg to the front, straighten the back leg, chest and pelvis to the side, and come back. And you can do this as slow as you need to get that placement. And coming back, and you should probably feel it on the front thigh, the one that stays bent. And come back. We'll just do one more, staying there, and you can keep hold of your chair. Now with the hand that's on my hip, I'm going to sweep it up and over and take a side bend. Coming back and returning. Swapping sides. So now I'm going to turn my chest and pelvis to the other side of my room. Turn around. Now it's my right leg is bent, my left leg straight, whole sole of the foot on the floor, and come back. Opening out and coming back. This is 3. And come back. 4. And last one, I'm going to stay there and then sweep that arm up and over. So I'm leaning towards the chair. And again, you want to make sure your chair is not going to go anywhere. Coming back and returning. Give the legs a shake if you need to. A few more chair squats this time. Holding the chair but not sitting down into it. Bending the knees, folding, and squeeze the glutes to stand up. Really push through the legs. And pull up the front of the thighs as well. We'll do 4 of these. And 3 more. 2. And last one. Next, I'm going to shuffle a little bit closer to my chair so that my arms aren't reaching. Shoulders over hips, lift up onto the balls of your feet. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift, lower. 2 more. Lift, lower. Last one. Lift and lower. From there, tiny press up in a way. Holding onto your chair, elbows are going to come out wide, and I'd like you to lean into it. So again, you want to make sure your chair isn't going to go anywhere and push the body away from it. So I'm trying to keep a very straight sort of pencil line through the body. Lean into the chair and use your arms and upper body and your chest to push the chair away from you. Into the chair and out. And you can always take a bit of a step further back if you want to. Again, if your chair is sturdy enough, to lean into it a bit more. So you decide how far you want to be away from the chair. We'll do 5 of them. Next, standing on one leg. So again, I've got the chair, and I'm going to take my right leg out behind me. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 3 more. 2. And last one, and then I change sides. If you're more comfortable, you could be further away from the chair so that you can lean into it a little bit. 5, lift and lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. 2 more, lift and lower, and lift and lower, and placing the feet together. So now we have done all of the movements that we need to do our psalm sequence. The psalm sequence is to Psalm 91, verses 1 to 2. And it says, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust." So the first line, whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High. You're going to take the right leg out and take ourselves into this open hip lunge. So that front left knee is bent and that right leg is straight, and the toes and the hips and the chest are facing the side of your room. You're going to sweep the right arm up and over. So this is whoever dwells in the shelter. So it's like you've made yourself a roof. Of the Most High, you come back upright and you're going to turn to face your chair again. So pivot on the ball of the back foot. And the option is to take the arms up towards the ceiling of the Most High. Take a step forward, bring yourself back to parallel. We'll rest in the shadow of the Almighty. You're going to take your arms around the chest for the will rest. Tuck the chin to the chest and round the body over. In the shadow, open the arms out like they're wings in the shadow. And then there's the option here, either place the hands on the chair when you get about sort of shoulder height, place them on the chair. And of the Almighty, you're going to lift your eye line, your chest, and the heels of the feet up towards the heavens. Or if you're happy not holding onto the chair, from our rest in the shadow, the Almighty, you can open the chest, the elbows, the wrists, and lift upwards. If you're happy to, you could even take that on a rise as well. So those are the options. From there, place the hands back down and we say, I will say of the Lord. So step the right legs on the right side back into a lunge. I will say of the Lord. And you can reach the arms forward as well if you want to. He is my refuge. Step back towards the chair, bend the knees softly, rounding the top of the body and resting there. He's my refuge and my fortress. So now we have a strong position. We take our little press up, leaning into the chair as long as the chair's not going to move, and then pushing ourselves away from it. And my fortress. My God in whom I trust is the last line of this verse. And we've got two options, one for the legs or one for the arms. My God, here's the legs. Take the right leg out. My God, in whom, bring it up towards the chest, I trust, plant that foot down into the ground. Or if you want to do arms instead, the arms can come out. My God, turn the palms, in whom I trust, and push the air down either side of you. So I'll go through it on the left side as well. First move, stepping out, put your chest and pelvis facing the side of the room. Whoever dwells in the shelter, make the shelter of the Most High, turn back to your chair, optional arms. We'll rest. So we hug ourselves and we fold down. In the shadow, open the arms of the Almighty. You can either have the hands on the chair and lift the heels, or you could have the arms out, or both. Next, I will say of the Lord. So I'm stepping that left leg back. I will say of the Lord into a lunge, and you can take the arms out as well if you like. I will say of the Lord. He is my refuge. Bend the knees, rest. And my fortress. So strong body, squeeze the legs to, lean into the chair, push the chair away from you. And my fortress. The leg option is my God in whom I trust. All the arms, my God in whom I trust. So we'll go through it now, right then left, then right, then left, and I'll show you the different options as we go. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. And then we'll finish up with a couple of stretches. So just take your right hand over your body and your left arm pulls it close to you. So you should be feeling a stretch across the outside of the shoulder there. A couple of deep breaths. Shoulders away from the ears again. And then we'll do the other side. Folding the arm across the body, pulling it towards you, shoulder down away from the ear. Release the arms, take the right one all the way up and over and bend it as if you're kind of trying to scratch your back, and then use your left to help post it down the back. So we should be getting a stretch on the tricep there outside of the upper arm. Release the arms, give them a shake. Fold the other one down. Try and stay as tall as you can here with the elbow pointing upwards rather than forwards. And then release the arms, give them a shake. Put the hands on the knees and just round out the top of the back. You could take the arms in front of you if you prefer. Lift the arms up. Turn the palms if you have them interlaced. Pull the shoulders down the back and one more big arm circle reaching out away from yourself. We'll finish with a prayer. Father, thank you for this time that we've had with your word and being able to worship with our movements. We thank you and we ask that you send your blessing on us at this time, and then it's a real time that we can draw closer to you. In Jesus' name, amen.